Do you want to represent the 10K brand? Well, we completely redesigned our shop. If you go to 10ktakesmn.com, click the shop tab, you'll go to our whole new shop. We got some kick-ass designs on there. And it is twin season right now. We have some of the best Minnesota Twins designs around. They're all original. They're great, like the Joey G Revenge Tour, Kyle Fed Farmer, or whatever it is, because he's Kyle Farmer.
Corn-fed.
Corn-fed Farmer.
Yeah. Land of 10,000 Rakes.
Yep, Land of 10,000 Rakes, which is in reference to the jacket they wear now when they hit a home run. So you got to start representing the Twins today with our merch, 10K Takes. We also have some just original stuff on there as well with our logo and name on it too. So if you want that, we got it on there. So if you go to 10ktakesmn.com, click the shop tab, you'll see our new shop. Represent 10K stuff today.
On this episode of It's a Bit, we're joined by a very special Vikings legend. We got former running back Chuck Foreman, actually voted as one of the top 50 greatest Vikings of all time. Absolutely iconic player in Minnesota. We also go into our bits of the week, as always, that involve a lot of championship heartbreak as fall sports have completely come to an end in winter sports here in Minnesota. And we're going to end the show with Wags' game 15 questions, which I think is fucking rigged. So that should be a heated game as always. But all of that and more on It's a Bit. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of It's a Bit, presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman, joined by full studio producer Cam, journalist Jake, and Wags. And it's an annual season here in Minnesota that rolls around usually end of April, beginning of May, where the Timberwolves get eliminated in a gentleman's sweep of what, Cam, 4 games?
Five. We won one of them.
5, that's right. And then the Wild get eliminated in the first round of Game 6. So just like that, the offseason has started. As all the jokes go in hockey, we've hit the golf course. Lake season starts now. Golf season starts now. And with the flash of an eye, it's all over. And all we have left is our beloved Twins.
It's pretty courteous of them to get eliminated both in the same week. It just gets the heartbreak out of the way. We have the whole rest of the year looking great now.
Well, the thing is, too, in Minnesota, we do love tradition. So we want them to be eliminated. That way, we don't want them to cut into golf or lake season because then that's shortened. It's already short as is. So
yeah, we don't know what that's like. Yeah. We might actually hate a Minnesota team going on a run because maybe we can't.
We've never
miss fishing.
We wouldn't know. Yeah.
Would you rather be on a boat or sit in an ice rink in the middle of June? Answer that.
That's a good point.
See, we don't know yet.
I think I'd rather be on a boat.
We've never experienced that yet.
Also, because the weather is only good here approximately like 3 months out of the year, it wouldn't make sense to spend one of those 3 months inside staring at a television screen. That's bad for your retinas, and it's bad for your skin. You got to get that vitamin D, get outside, and stop sitting inside and watching sports. And that's a choice, by the way. We're choosing to do that. What, Cam?
I'm watching the Twins game as I do every night when we're recording this, and Carlos Correa literally just had a home run get robbed.
Okay.
It's not the only robbery that'll
You
happen
look
in
like
that
someone
town.
just murdered family member.
He literally jumped over the wall.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, White Sox suck, too.
Yeah.
Correa
sucks.
sucks.
That's unfortunate.
Aww.
But yeah, Wild are done. First round bounce. The chirping with the Stars fans has ended. That whole saga is retired. They're moving on to play Cam's future NHL pick, the Crack Wagon.
Hell yeah.
The Crack House is buzzing for the playoffs, by the way. That's a loud building to play in. They got quite a facility up there in Seattle, but
and former UND coach Dave Haskell.
Hackstall leading from the front. A lot of people thought he was just going to be a scapegoat in Seattle, and that the first coach in the expansion team always takes all the brute force and gets fired. But Hackstall is proving all the haters wrong, and that UND championship blood courses through his fucking veins.
I am all aboard the Crack Wagon. Now that I put a future on it, I did get some free play on my bookie today. I might throw some more on it. I don't know, but I placed this back in.
Your alleged bookie. It's
alleged.
not legal here.
Yeah, that's true. I did. I placed this back in February. I think you guys laughed at me, but
I didn't.
I think Jake did.
I've been on the Crack Wagon since the beginning of the year.
They made me a lot of money throughout the year, and I think if they beat the Stars, I might have to buy some memorabilia.
I feel like if it's just kind of insult to injury that I really feel like the Wild could have taken the Kraken rather easily. They seem to during the regular season. I know playoff hockey is a different beast, but it's just kind of this is like if there was a year to go past the first round, I feel like this was the year.
Dude, I'm telling you
can't get past the first round.
I think that would have been a harder that was a harder matchup than the Western Conference Final would be. I'm not saying we would have won the West by any means, but like I feel like the Stars were the hardest opponent we were going to face, and it had to, of course, have been in the first round.
Yeah.
The only other team I'd be scared of is Edmonton.
Yeah, for sure. Or even Vegas. When Vegas is playing well and their goaltending's good, they can be good too. But it just sucks. Again, another year, another first round exit.
Well, I might just be a salty Wild fan, but they really need to have 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6 in the playoffs, right? Like the regular season should mean more than it does in terms of seeding for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who would they have? Would they have played Seattle? I think if they did
I don't know who they're going to play, but it does feel like in the NHL, there's championship caliber matchups always in the first round.
I know.
All I know is anyone could have beaten the Jets. I honestly think Edina High School could have beaten the Jets the way they played, and you saw the meltdown from Rick Bowness after that.
Hilarious.
After that game, I actually tweeted that same clip and said, "Hey, this could kind of apply to the Wild right now. They had no pushback.
No.
We would have been the 6th seed. We would have played Colorado,
Okay.
and then Dallas would have played the Kings. And then Edmonton would have played the Kraken, and Vegas would have played the Jets.
Which they did.
Vegas still would have steamrolled the Jets
so
in either scenario.
So that was the only one that was correct.
Yeah, I mean, and the East was even crazier. I mean, Boston's done, New York is done. I said it. Maybe super teams in hockey don't work anymore. You bring in Kane, Tarasenko, it fails miserably. They got completely worked in that last game. They didn't even put up a fight.
Don't win the President's Trophy in the NHL, folks.
Just stop doing that.
If you're halfway through the season and you're, dominating the league by 20 points, you should just send half your team down to the AHL and bring them up and slow yourself down and just to lose some games, because obviously you can't win and be the best team in the league and win it all, let alone get past the first round. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning won the President's Trophy 2 years in a row, the mid-2010s, and they lost in the first round both years.
I think unless you're playing the Winnipeg Jets. That's
Yeah.
the only they were fucking terrible.
They were
man.
horrible. They just scraped their way. Nashville made it into their spot. I think they would have had a better fight for sure.
Or even Calgary, as big of a disaster as that place was. And you saw Daryl Sutter. He's gone now. Like, that place was – the fight for that last playoff spot was like who doesn't want to lose the least? Or I don't know what to say, but it was like the shittiest team. What was going to be a shitty team either way, whereas the fight for the final playoff spot in the East was incredible with Florida. You saw what they did. Compare that to the West's final playoff spot, wild card spot, just disaster.
I think if it was Calgary, that series would have been sick. Because when we were in Vegas, we went to a Flames Knights game, and the Flames murdered them.
That's
true. That series would have been
fun. That's true. If they have Markstrom in net, they could have done anything, but it was a little too late.
Yeah, I mean, this NHL playoffs has just proven that the regular season in hockey, it doesn't mean a fucking thing.
I
think the Bruins lose 12 games all year, and then they lose 4 out of 7. I mean, that's hilarious.
I think by overall ranking in terms of points or wins, I think Florida was actually the lowest or last placed or lowest ranked team in the playoffs. I think they were ranked 17th in the NHL in points or wins coming in, and they just absolutely fist pounded. I know it went to 7, but they dominated them.
I think
for the most part.
Didn't they had 50 points less than the Bruins?
Yeah,
on the regular. That's crazy.
Or something 40 or whatever.
Now the Bruins have the playbook for how to get it past the first round next year because they just saw Florida do it. So what you got to do is you got to move some players around, be significantly worse the next year, not even sniffing the President's Trophy, have the best player on the team's dad go to the Canadian media and bitch out the entire team, scrape your way back in the playoffs, get the final seed, beat the number 1 seed. There you go, Boston. Now you're in the second round. It's that easy.
Dude, are you guys getting sick and tired of Boston sports fans complaining?
Yeah.
They've won so much in the last 10, 20 years. They've won so many championships, yet they're always like, woe is me. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone.
They're depressed, and then New York Rangers fans are upset too. Oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. We blew you were up 2-0. That sucks. You lost the last 4 games. In this sense of this year, that sucks. But they're complaining about not winning. Same with Boston fans. You guys always fucking win.
We need to blow the whistle on that. They need to be forbidden from championships for the next 20 years
until they can complain.
For being upset about losing in semifinals and losing in quarterfinals.
And that's just Eagles fans that were so. If you lose in the Super Bowl in any circumstance, whether you won 4 in a row or whatever, I know it's going to be upsetting. But Eagles fans were bitching after they lost to the Chiefs. You just won a Super Bowl in the last 5 years. Relax. And you're Philly.
Going into the second round of the NBA playoffs, I wanted Boston to beat the 76ers just because, like, I've never hated the Celtics and I hate everything Philadelphia. But seeing all these Boston fans bitch, I hope they lose because you don't know how nice you have it.
I know.
You deserve to lose another series now.
You're like a rich kid who's crying because he didn't get the right model of toy helicopter that he wanted.
Yeah.
While there are other kids who don't even get Christmas gifts. That's
a big
literally
deal.
what you're comparing it to.
Because of you, Britney Spears couldn't get the newest version of the private jet. She had to get last year's version of the private jet.
Poor her.
Yep.
Poor
it's
Boston
exactly
fans.
what it is.
You had to get a lower model private jet. Boo-hoo.
It's like, goodness gracious. Like, if you they would probably all be dead if they lived in Minnesota then.
You didn't get into the VIP section of the concert, while some of us haven't even gotten in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see, I think it was after Game 7 when the Rangers lost and they were walking back to the tunnel, there was just some New Jersey Devils fan just screaming, "Hey, have fun golfing tomorrow, boys." And he literally did it for like 35, 40 seconds as the whole entire team
Or I
walked
think
through.
That was the Lightning, wasn't it?
Oh, it was the Lightning. Yeah, you're right.
So it was a Toronto fan, which kind of funny coming from Toronto.
Yeah, right? First time they've gone past the first round in 19 years, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, like,
insane.
Let's pump the brakes up there on that. In the Toronto Square, they were screaming, "We want Florida." That's a bold call, but they were right.
It's funny because everyone now is shifting, though. Speaking of Toronto, like the curse, everybody's now shifting the focus. I've seen national media shift focus to the Wild.
Yeah.
Like, they're the new Toronto
They're
Maple
the new
Leafs.
joke of the league, to be
they're
honest.
the new joke because forever it was always the Maple Leafs, and we were kind of sitting in the corner in the shadows like, oh, don't bring up our stats of how many times we've lost in the first round in the last 10 years, which has been 8. But people just – the Maple Leafs have been getting the brunt of the joke, so now that's done.
Well, and Jake, while you mention championship droughts with the Wild and how we have the attention now, let's transition into bit of the week. Well, what do you got?
Yeah, so I have the championship drought bit. So I recently, now, in light of the Timberwolves and now the Wild losing in the first round of the playoffs and being another Minnesota team to become victim of being eliminated early in the playoffs, I have become aware of a stat, or I wouldn't say shocking.
A nugget.
I wouldn't say it's shocking, but you do read it and you're like, really? So since 1991, when the Twins won the World Series, which was Minnesota's last team to win a championship.
Before anyone in this goddamn room was conceived. Yep. Maybe we're the problem, by the way.
Yeah, we were still in the bars. Twin Cities.
That's one way of putting it.
It is. But Twin Cities teams have made the playoffs in the MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL and failed to reach the championship every time. So no other metro area team had so we've made the playoffs 50 times since 1991 combined between MLB, NBA, NFL, and our NHL teams. No other metro area team has even had 30 straight playoff trips without making a championship. We've made, combined between all 4 major sports here in the metro area, in the Twin Cities metro area, 50 times in the last 30 plus years, and have not even sniffed a championship. I guess we've been close a few times in terms of Vikings NFC championships, the Twins being in the ALCS in 2002, the Wolves being in the conference final in 2004, the Wild made it to the conference final in 2003, but those were all disastrous series or games. Like, something brutal happened in those games. When we even got close, something bad happened, like traumatic.
Vikings 09.
Yep. Gary Anderson 98, 2018 when we got killed 38-7 to the Eagles. I think we got swept in 2003 to the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. I think we lost 4-1 or 4-0 to the Lakers in 2004.
So is Minnesota, or I guess Minneapolis, St. Paul area, is that like the longest drought currently out of all cities?
Yep, because they say no other metro area. I guess you could break it down league by league, but they say in terms of metro areas with all 4 major sports. I don't know. They didn't list. We should find out what other major metro area it was. They didn't list it, but they said the next one is 30 straight playoff appearances, or just below that without a championship.
Okay.
And we made it 50 times.
Dude, I actually
out of 4 teams.
I have the Minnesota sports team's postseason record since October 5th, 2004. The Minnesota Twins are 0-18 for a 0 winning percentage. The Vikings are 4-8 for a 33% winning percentage. The Timberwolves are 4-12 for a 25% winning percentage, and the Minnesota Wild are 26-52 for a 33% winning percentage. Their total between all teams, 34 wins, 90 losses.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. That's, That's one of those things where you guys should have just totally ignored all those numbers and we just pretended they never existed, because that's fucking depressing to hear.
Like
but that's the reality of it.
I was just thinking of like The Office and doing like a Jim stare into the camera, like,
Yep.
you know, like this is ridiculous. Like we talk about it year after year, and like, oh, there's always next year, and there is always next year. We don't know the future.
I mean, you don't know how long you're gonna live.
Look at Toronto. You know, they
Yeah.
give me hope. They finally did it.
They won one
Years,
playoff
19
series.
I know.
That's
and,
insane.
And if you watch the Wild's press conference today, that's the last thing Billy G wants to hear is like, thank God we made it past the first round. You know, that people do say that's a loser mentality, and I can kind of see it now that it's been brought to light that we should want more, but we haven't really been given more. It's kind of like a beggars can't be choosers. Like, obviously we want to win championships, but we got to get to the second round first. So that's what's on our horizon, and it's not a fun mindset to have, but it's where we're at.
You want to hear it sad? I want to go back to the day after Game 3 of the Minnesota Wild series and just have that feeling forever. And that was just being up one game in the series.
I thought back to that Saturday between games, and I'm like, can I live in that Saturday forever?
So happy watching highlights left and right. It was a great time.
The socials were popping off. The vibes were high. We had a Sunday matinee game.
The
to
Stars
make it 3-1.
fans were mad.
They were mad. We were winning the battle. Life was good, man. We got to watch other playoff games without stress. You know, we got to say it sucks to be this team down 2-1. Wouldn't know what that feels like. You know, we were on top of the world. We won, just as we were last year at the same exact fucking time.
We flew too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Yep.
And even after Game 1, when we won in overtime like we did, that was incredible feeling going into that Tuesday. And you're like, okay, we're at least gonna go back home 1-1 in the series. And that Sunday came, you know, for Game 4, and that game was close, and there was opportunities missed, and it's just
we had back-to-back horseshit games in Dallas, and that just killed everything.
Yeah.
Game 2 and Game 5 were atrocious.
And the Wild, they didn't have much fight. Not the refs, like they weren't like a huge factor, but they were a factor too, which was unfortunate. So you always hate to see
especially
that.
when they come out and admit that they were wrong.
Yeah, on
all
multiple
sucks.
calls.
You rarely see that in any league where refs or umps come out and they're like, yeah, I kind of fucked that one up. Like, you know, they usually stick to their guns. But
the NBA does that, and that's why like so many people like the NBA refs, because they actually will come out and will tell you why if it was right or wrong.
I think I'd rather have them just take it on the chin and not say that they fucked up.
I know.
It makes it hurt worse.
I know, because you start thinking about what could have been, and it's a dark place to go.
In terms of like arguing with fans, though, it's helpful.
Yeah, I know.
True. Everyone in Dallas was like, "No, that's a fucking penalty. He's done." Literally everything he did was like, "No, that's not."
Yeah.
Well, because in that publication where they like said the NHL was wrong, they literally say they were wrong. The NHL said this should have been a penalty because of this, which led to Dallas getting a goal, giving them a 2-1 advantage. And it's like, that sucks. Like when you say that, like when you say it like that. So.
And a lot of analysts and experts from around the league also not admitted, but they're like, we know, even though they don't say it, we know, like if you call out the refs in a press conference, they're going to give it to you next game. And when Foligno was, you know, saying the reffing was bullshit, and game 3 or whatever game it was where he had a couple bad calls on that Sunday, Game 3, you knew Game 4 they were going to fuck him over, and they didn't waste any time doing it. They did it, 10 seconds into the game? Kicked him out, and then they come out later and say, oh, yeah, that probably should have been a 2-minute, not only a 5-minute major, but kicking him out of the game. Those were both just way too egregious, and it killed our momentum.
I just wish we would have lost to someone not named the Stars, because their fan base fucking sucks. Like you were saying with when they were saying that every penalty was legit. Like, I'm pretty sure Jamie Benn could have pulled a pistol out of his breezers, shot one of our players, and executed him, and be like, "Well, had it coming. Shouldn't have looked at him."
Well, he hit this guy weird, and he deserved that.
Yeah.
What?
You know, I think some Star fans out there are cool. They were cool, but like a lot of the Stars fans that were attacking us, they're like, "Well, you guys started this shit." I think all Bossman did was make a video of all the ridiculous stuff that Stars fans were commenting on our posts.
They certainly started it by ripping on the state of Minnesota, and it's because we won Game 1 and we were having fun and celebrating, and they didn't like that very much. Which, you know what? When you have to see another fan base celebrate because they won a double overtime game on a Monday, I'd be a little salty too. I'd throw some shade.
Exactly.
All I was doing was exposing. I think the only mean thing I said in that video was that Texas doesn't really have a school system, and I actually genuinely believe that. That's not an insult. I think it's a fact.
See, what happened was, I think the caption for the video, though, was like, Dallas Stars fans are dumb, like all capitalized.
All Texas cares about is football. So, like, we go to science class, they go to cover cover 2 defense class. Like they don't actually have academics
Well,
there.
Dude, they're
so
still
don't
quote
understand
tweeting
hockey.
us like to this day.
Oh, I know.
They're still quote tweeting
It's
us.
hilarious.
But
Give us interaction.
they don't understand how social media works. The more you interact with our content, the more the social media platforms are like, oh, people are interacting with them. Let's show them to more people.
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of our posts have hashtags, so the more posts that people, interact with that
But
hashtag, it's trending.
no one tell them that because if they want to keep helping us out, we'd appreciate it. But
I saw one of them tweet, I think it was yesterday or today, they were like, I'm trying to hate Kraken fans, but I can't. They seem like nice people. I'm like, yeah, so you're just trying to pick a fight.
Yeah.
which is fun. I had a blast doing it. I'm not gonna lie. I want to pick fights with other fans more often. It kind of turned into a mini hobby, like when you're really bored. It was really rainy and cold last week. We were stuck inside a lot. Typical Minnesota weather. So I just turned to fighting with people from Texas on the internet. But really quick, I'm gonna go into my bit because mine is kind of related to hockey. I've done that in beer league bit. So Ullmark, the Bruins goalie in Game 5 in overtime, gave up a really soft goal. I think he was like behind the net and he couldn't quite get the puck on his stick. And sure enough, the Panthers skater comes in, takes the puck away. Ullmark has to skate back to the net and do a flying dive to try to get in front of it, and ended up on his ass. And they scored a pretty easy goal to put away Game 5 to force a Game 6. I've actually done that exact same thing. Second game of beer league. I've only been a beer league goalie for like 5 weeks in a beginner league, and I've already done both of these moves. So I've done that one. I've given that goal up. And then Skinner in Game 6, apparently he had a broken stick, but he was trying to play a pass in front of the net and fanned on it. Just gave it right to the Kings player who went in and scored basically an open net.
So funny.
I've done that one too. So
you're just like pros, man. I mean, your
I know.
progress sounds great.
You know what? The whole golf mentality of one of us, like when a pro golfer makes an abominable mistake and you're like, they're just like us, just like hockey goalies too. Everyone lets in a softie every now and then. And just through 5 weeks of doing this, I can relate to 2 goals in the NHL playoffs that were given up.
Hey, you know what? 2 weeks ago, I missed a wide open net. They do that all the time.
Boldy did that a lot.
They're not any better.
We're related. Well, you got to find one more thing that a goalie does wrong that you do, and you can complete the trifecta.
I know. I'm trying to think. Well, I've given up a lot of soft 5-hole goals, but that's a little trickier to prevent. That's not like an easy one to prevent. Maybe one where I try to skate out and challenge the player, and then I miss the pass, and he goes behind me, takes the puck, and scores.
You got to do like a mistimed diving poke check.
Yeah.
Usually go around and score.
That's Fleury's bit.
Yes.
That's Fleury's bit.
Stack the pads.
Skate out and throw the stick like it's fucking last-ditch effort.
See, Jack did that once, but he made like a stick save. It made no sense.
Yeah,
Hey, it works
How
sometimes.
did you do that?
Sometimes it works. Sometimes you're looking like Fleury in Game 2.
You're better than Fleury.
I'm gonna try it a few times, and when someone finally scores with me, I'm gonna thank them. I'll be like, "Thanks for helping me with the trifecta, man." They're gonna be like,
what the
"Is this
fuck?"
guy brain damaged?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a goalie. It's normal.
You have to listen to the podcast, but and then I have an honorable mention. I have the annual Billy G hot seat tweet. They come every year, and fans get upset. Today, the press conference got released, and lovely gentleman, I won't give his name away, tweeted Billy G should be on the hot seat now, and he gets torn apart because
as he should.
This general manager, I know we're biased, we're friends with him. I don't think that has anything to do with
No.
it. We loved him before that. That's what created the friendship. But
Yeah. Well, going back. He's a legend in hockey, especially American hockey. He's a U.S. Hockey Hall of Famer.
he has the pulse of the team because he played for so long. He knows what it's like to be a player, how to handle certain situations well. And let's be honest, he even said today he doesn't like talking about it much because, he doesn't want to give out excuses. But this team is playing with a hand tied behind its back is the way he used it, with a $14 million cap hit.
Yeah. They can't use that 14. It's frozen.
It's literally incredible that the fact that we're able to make playoffs and compete without that money.
Well, people are saying that that's just excuses. People need to be held accountable. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, look at our minor league pool. Like, for people saying people need to be held accountable, the Minnesota Wild, like, according to everyone's rankings, have either the number 1 or number 2 best prospect pool in the NHL. That's because of Bill Guerin. This team is going to be great 3 to 5 years from now. I mean, the fact that we're even making the playoffs right now, and we know this is going to be our shittiest in the next few years, that's a huge sign. And I think if anyone needs to be on the hot seat, it's Dean. I think he should keep his job. I think he deserves one more chance. But that would be the person to look at.
That would be the person next, if anything. But this is the time of year where we try to run somebody out of town. It doesn't matter if they've been here a year.
You're right.
or 3 years. Bill Guerin's only been here 3 years. I mean, that's not a lot of time, especially coming in a COVID year and then dealing with all the Parisi suitor cap stuff since he's practically been here. It's everybody wants to run somebody out of team without committing to one person right now. Just commit to somebody.
I did see, I think it was Friday night after the game, I was just scrolling on Twitter. We were depressed at Truck Park, drinking our feelings away. But I did see a tweet, and I don't know who said it or how many interactions it got, but they did say, trade Kirill, trade Boldy, rebuild. I saw, you know what, right on time, right on cue. Same with Billy G, hot seat. Same with Dino, hot seat, which I think that one's getting a little more traction the more failure we have in the playoffs. Still not something Billy G wants to do yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just a it's a constant, like, it's a year-round thing.
Mm-hmm.
We lose in the first round, people point fingers, and they just don't see the grander picture, which we've been through a lot, so I get it, but literally wait. When we pay these guys off, when this prospect pool comes up, when you have a Wallstad fucking Gustafson tandem, we're going to be cup contenders. And you know what? I'm fine saying that. If it's 2030 and it still hasn't happened yet, sure. You can fucking nail me to the cross. But I think we're a couple of years, man.
It's a new base of players. It's like we're building a new base. Yeah, we lost in the first round like we've had in the last 12 years, but it's a lot in the last 12 years. But we have a new base we're building up. It's going to be a new identity in a couple years, especially when we open up that cap space. It's going to be insane.
And I'm also excited for the Timberwolves next year. If all the players get their shit together and don't hurt each other like two games before playoffs, I mean, it could be good next year.
Don't punch a wall in the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Don't punch
How would
your
you do that?
Or another teammate.
Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, don't punch teammates either. Like, this is common sense here. Like, before the playoffs.
If anything, punch that basketball in the hoop.
Yes,
because that's how basketball
works. You're the Timberwolves, though. Remember that. Like,
also,
you need everybody you can get.
As much as you hate to say it, it's a better look to punch the other team than your own team.
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't
shows
a good,
character.
Not a good look.
It's a gritty player I want on my team.
Not good. Folks.
I don't think it's been a while since I've seen anything like it, but when was the last time two players in the NHL for the same team fought each other?
Remember Bill Guerin hitting his stick over his teammate's head in training camp?
That's happened.
The next year they made them room together for training camp.
That's funny.
That's how the guy probably deserved it, let's be honest.
It happens in like football training camp all the time, but not in the middle of a game.
Yeah, see, that's why it's strange that happened, but only for the Timberwolves.
Sometimes we see two fans start fighting each other. I actually almost witnessed that Game 6 in the bathroom at the XL Energy Center. I was just on my phone scrolling through Twitter. Yeah, it was after the first period, so everyone's a little hot, a little drunk by that point, waiting to take a piss in that egregious line on the second level. And all I do is I hear, "You're a big fucking tough guy. How fucking tough are you? Come over here and show me." And like, there's a kid between the two, and I was just like, okay, so we're doing Civil War already. Fucking, we got 2 periods left, guys. Come on. If you want to fight, do it after the game. But I still, at that point, believed that we could make it happen.
Dude, speaking of the bathroom, I just remembered this now. I don't know how I didn't tell you guys, but when I was in the bathroom and waiting in line, and it was a pretty long line, this guy was just obviously couldn't wait. I thought there was like that recycle bin or trash can in the corner right when you turn it on the corner, right?
Oh.
And I thought I saw him in front of it. I'm like, nah, he's not pissing. And all of a sudden, I see him like move his hand like he's zipping something up, and he walked out. He pissed in that trash can.
That's what they get for putting. That's what they get for putting it in that corner, though.
Yeah, that corner. But he wasn't that. He was pretty close. He was probably going to piss within the next couple of minutes, or he probably would have had an open urinal in the next couple of minutes, and he just pisses in that recycle bin or trash can and just walks out.
Yeah, that second deck up there is a bit of a war zone.
They need to do something about the bathroom situation. Like, there was people waiting there as soon as the third or second period ended, all the way up to the start of the next period.
Usually you can, like, during regular season games, you can find that, perfect point where there's like no one going to the bathroom or anything like that. But yeah, it was there was a line there, I think, in the entire game.
Yeah.
We need to the next time we talk to Billy G, we need to tell him about how you can on like NHL GM
upgrade
mode
bathrooms.
Yep.
Let's say that the Wild need to do it.
Billy, all you got to do is press the button A.
Yeah, you can upgrade, right?
It'll be done in like 14 days.
You have a budget, right? You can make them bigger. You just can do something. I mean, I could do it in the video
I would
game.
give it currently like a 6 out of 10 rating.
Yeah.
I think you could bump it up it'd be a 14-day project if you press the button A. And it'd be up to like an 8.
It's Craig Leopold's money. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
He's rich.
Yeah.
He can afford it.
He
It's
put
just
you on
money.
his private jet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on,
Fuck,
fuck
because
it.
he's got idiots like us buying tickets to every game, even when they're losing. You know what? That team could win 0 games in the regular season, and we'd still be there as much as we could.
Oh, yeah, especially because tickets would get so cheap.
True. It'd be like the
Very
Twins
cheap.
right now.
Yes.
It's like, who wants to go to a matinee Twins game on a 40-degree Monday? It's
Yeah.
like anyone with $4 can.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it, though. I love that. All right. Let's go, Producer Cam. What's your bet?
My bit is the heat in the morning, AC in the afternoon bit. We've reached the time of the year where you guys work from home, so you don't really get this that often. But when I leave in the morning, my truck's been sitting outside overnight, and I have to turn the heat on because it's cold outside. And I'm wearing a jacket and everything, and then I go work for 8 hours. I leave work. I have my jacket in my hand because it's been sunny all day, and I come to my truck, and it's hot as fuck. And I have to turn the AC on. It just doesn't. It never the weather doesn't make its mind up right now, and my truck is probably confused. It's like what the
Your
fuck is
body's
happening?
probably confused
Yeah,
as well.
that too.
People who work at golf courses know that feeling better than anyone because it's early morning starts and late afternoon finishing shifts. And it's the old, like, wear the pullover, blast the defroster because you're all frosted over. And then, you turn on the car at about 2 p.m. after your shift and you want to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You're in a
awful.
I know
sauna.
the feeling.
Arctic to a sauna.
That's why I love remote work so much. Not having to drive to work in the morning is just a game changer.
The worst is when I get into my truck and it's hot in the truck, obviously, and I turn it on, and like the heat from the morning comes out,
blasting
and I'm
at
just
you.
like melting. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Was it when we toured US Bank Stadium in August? They had the heat on in the building for whatever
oh,
reason.
yeah.
Who else was on that tour, right? Any of you guys there?
I was.
Yeah, it was hot as shit.
Yeah, I think it was a sauna everywhere we went, except I think the field was okay, but I
Yeah.
felt like I was sweating
And
the entire time.
I know nothing about running a multi-billion-dollar stadium, so I would imagine there's a purpose behind it. But it kind of reminds me of how you drive by Target Field on like an off day on a Saturday, and the lights are on,
Yeah.
like during the day.
Yeah.
It's like having the sprinklers on in the middle of a rainstorm. Like why? Like what are we doing? There has to be an explanation behind why some of these professional facilities do it. I don't get it. Why are we leaving the lights on during the day? Why are we leaving the heat on in summer? And why are we watering shit when it's watering from the sky?
What I don't understand on that topic is like car dealerships. I know do this because that's like the profession I work in. But like after they're closed, their sales floor lighting is still on. I don't get that.
I want to showcase
Yeah.
the beautiful cars.
Yeah, they
guess.
want people to go in and steal it to advertise it around the city.
Advertise the product.
Yeah.
Which has legitimately happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just claim
Sure.
insurance,
Yeah,
and now it's
exactly.
free advertising.
Or
It's a loophole.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know. Like my offices will
Allegedly.
they'll leave like lights on at night in some rooms.
I think it's just something rich people do.
Yeah.
It's a rich
It's also a
person thing.
security thing. It's like we
think it's
want
security.
it to look like people are in this building so
Yeah.
that you don't break into this building.
Well, I know like a lot of times at those dealerships, like they'll be displaying actual cars and shit like
Yeah.
that. So they actually have it displaying through big windows. So
Yeah.
that's
And
why
it
they
looks
get the lights
nice at
on.
night when you drive by a dealership and you see.
And then you're like, I'm gonna buy an Audi.
I'm gonna go steal it. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
I
take
guess
it.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Wags, close us out.
Yeah, I got the fake trade news bit. We were all at Game 6, and I think it was like they were just having like a quick commercial break. So I turned to Jake, and this is during the NFL draft, and I'm like, dude, Jake, Kirk Cousins just got traded for Trey Lance. And I just thought only Jake could hear me. The whole entire row of people sitting in front of us turn around and stare at me.
Like, what?
I'm like, no, that didn't just happen. But I recommend like just pretending a breaking trade has happened in a group of large people because the reaction is absolutely hilarious.
And then you get beat up.
they thought it was funny.
I mean, there are people who
it
do it
was
on
hilarious.
Twitter, too. So
Well,
it's the same
they
thing.
literally made a trade with the 49ers that day, which was funny. So, I mean, like, before the details were released, if you were to saw that, you definitely could have done speculation.
Yeah, no, those people in front of us definitely believed you. They're like, what? No way. I'm like, and I was freaking out for a second. I'm like, no, you're lying. But
I think it helped that Don Cleveland guy rumored that it was going to happen. Remember, he said there's talks about a swap for Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins and Trey Lance, so that probably didn't help.
I saw some person tweet the other day, like, is that Dov guy an actual real person? Like, or
I don't
what?
know. I've actually wondered that, too.
Dude, I got so sick of the NFL draft shit about all the moves that the Vikings were gonna do, like trading up from 23 to 4 to draft a
Anthony
quarterback.
Richardson?
You know how much we would have to give up to get that pick?
To draft
Are you
the-
fucking kidding me?
Draft the best quarterback in the class, I would have been down.
Yeah.
Now he's a Colt.
Yep.
It's
Bitch,
just
I'm a Colt. Shut the fuck up. I have the shirt upstairs.
Yep.
I love that speculation because then you get to see what actually unfolds. It's the best.
Yeah,
And then you get to know who's wrong.
Well, no, like there's realistic speculation, but I'm like, this was never gonna happen.
I think it was probably a little realistic.
That was never gonna happen.
You say that now because it did.
I said that before. This wasn't going to happen.
Well, yeah, but
I was
Jake, you're
saying
always
that,
biased
right.
with your
Jake, do you know the margin to which it didn't happen?
Yeah.
Though that's the question.
Can you put
I
this
don't,
on a graph for me?
I don't even think they even considered it. Honestly, I don't even think
Well,
Quezzy
they
was
definitely
considering
did.
it.
I think the fact that they got Jordan Addison in the first round,
It's beautiful.
I think it helps. I think Kirk might sign an extension now. I mean, because there's
Yeah.
a great chance that he's going to have 4 amazing weapons to go to at any time when he's throwing the ball. I mean, I feel like his stats would be great.
Their
this
wide
year.
receiver attack.
I
is
looked
gonna
at our
be great.
schedule this year though. Or like our
It's
opponents.
tough.
Oh my
Yeah.
It's tough. The defense has got to hold up.
That's
I
what
think our offense
when you
will be
finish
fine.
13-4, they're going to give
we
you
might
good
be
teams.
fucked.
The Vikings need to go in with grit first. That's.
No.
Or maybe it's grit
That
last.
that didn't work.
By the way, I'm gonna
second.
I'm gonna steal that from the Wild. That's gonna be my new trademark.
You're grit first kind of guy.
I'm gonna keep that hashtag
Yeah.
going all year.
Because they're not using it again.
Nope.
So you're good from
No,
a trademark
they've
perspective.
they've thrown that in the dumpster, and I'm diving.
What was it last year?
It's about winning.
It's about
It's
winning.
about
we all
winning.
knew the F word was
Yeah.
implied.
And then I think for like 4 or 5 years before that, it was this is our ice, even though we kept
The
losing.
year before it was Determ MN Nation.
Yeah.
That
I
was
think
like-
they did that for a couple.
You know what
years,
though?
too.
That one got us to Game 7, so
It
we
did.
might need to
I
look
think
at going back to that.
I think they stole that off a senior T-shirt. Like that's something. That
What?
would be put
Yeah,
on
I
there.
know. I didn't like that one.
Also,
that was stupid.
One thing that I'm glad is gone. Actually, 2 things that I'm glad are gone that we should never bring back, and they're both associated with the Twins. The Bomber Squad,
Yeah.
glad that's gone, and Twins territory.
Oh, Twins territory is the best.
No, because it was associated with losing in the playoffs.
Yeah, but
Taglines are only cool if you
But
win.
I grew up with that.
I
That
think
was-
this is Twins territory wasn't necessarily a playoff tagline. I think that was like a
Okay.
Fox
That was-
Sports North.
that was all the
like
time.
that was just a general.
They
slogan.
used to make like those funny like ESPN
Yeah,
commercials.
yeah,
and they,
this
they
is
would
Twins
end it
ter-
with "This is Twins territory."
So I get bringing that back, but I don't think that was just a playoff slogan, if I'm not mistaken.
But you're
But,
right.
It's like-
but it was.
I still
we did
hate
use it.
anything associated with not success.
But like they need to bring back "It's Not Weird, It's Wild" because that's fantastic.
Yeah, they
That's-
stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
know.
should have done. Yeah, should have bust. I mean, they should have us do some. I feel like we could do some really good bits in there. Let me get through my honorable mention bit if you guys don't mind. It's pretty simple. It's if you come onto our show, you will get signed by an NFL team. We've had 2 people recently come on, Mariano Marin, he just signed with the 49ers, and Tanner Morgan, who just signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you want to join the NFL, come on our show. I think Jerome Williams, 4-star golfer recruit that we just had on, I think things are looking good for him.
Yeah, he's off to a great start.
Yes.
He's already on the too early 2028 NFL mock drafts or 2027 or
Mel
whatever.
Kiper's got him in the scope already.
Yep. 3rd round pick right now. Could move up. Could
Yep,
move up.
exactly. I think I actually saw they already released they say not too early mock draft for next year. And there are a few Gophers in the first round, I think I saw.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot who they were, but I think first couple rounds. Or first round, yeah.
Probably Athenian khaki mantis.
Athninian Calic praying mantis.
Yep.
I think we gotta start the praying mantises section at TCF Bank. Sorry, Huntington Bank, and let's find a costume. Let's all wear mantises.
Yep.
Praying mantis. Who are you? We're the Athen praying mantises.
We'll travel with the team. We'll show up to that miserable stadium in Northwestern.
Oh, the high school stadium.
Yeah,
the
they'll be like, damn, these guys came all the way here just to keep that bit alive that no one is following along with.
the praying mantis bit. The Praying Mantis Club.
Yep.
Praying Mantis Athen Club. Really quick before we get out, I forgot I had an honorable mention bit. Just to get away from sports and the depression of what is Minnesota sports. I have the last second ticket bit, so I guess this referenced sports a little bit, but the way to go, I think, for most sporting events, maybe not so much wild playoff events, but for concerts as well. We're potentially doing this for the Blink-182 concert this week. Do last-second tickets because tickets drop significantly. Everybody's always like, tickets are so expensive for that bit or that concert or that sporting event. It's like, just wait till 24 hours or less before the event. They're going to go down. Trust me. Just calm down. Wait, because the set prices you're looking at now, 3 weeks out from a set event, they're going to be fucking expensive. So calm down. Wait for the last minute, and tickets will go down. That's how it is.
That's kind of with sports, too.
Yeah. I'd say most sports, I think with the Wild playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs are different.
They were different. I think they went down slightly, but they went down from like 160 upper level to 140. But for most regular season sporting events with the Wild and Twins especially, and a lot for concerts, you can get, last minute ticket bit. You wait within the last 24 hours, everything will drop significantly. That's what you do. Because I've talked to, whenever we went to the Red Hot Chili Pepper concert, we got decent tickets down by the floor for maybe $100, and people were like, really? I paid like $200 for like lowers in row 30. I'm like, when did you buy them? Like 5 months ago. I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, we just bought them 5 hours before the concert. Like, yeah, we should have did that. I'm like, yeah, it's not going to completely ever sell out in this day and age.
Sometimes you get fucked because
sure, you risk it, but in my experience with concerts, at least, I've never had an issue with getting them like last minute. Sporting events, there has been issues with playoff games for sure.
I heard, I was actually just talking about this with someone at work. He said that one of his buddies will buy like nosebleed tickets, and then when they're in the game, they'll see what tickets are still available, and they'll go sit in those because they're like, well, no one has these. I'm not going to get kicked out of them.
That was someone at hockey said that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm like, that's actually kind of smart.
I've always thought about doing that, but
Yeah.
I've never actually done it.
I think you have to look at Ticketmaster because I think some of those resellers
Don't actually have
they don't
the
show
seat in the row.
They
Probably
just show
for
the
that
row.
reason.
Yeah, but I think Ticketmaster does show the row and everything. So
They would
yeah.
fuck that up.
So
Also, I want to quick fuck you to the Target Field ushers. Our buddy Veach went to a game, and it was one of those matinee games where maybe 500 people show up to a stadium that can fit 20,000 plus people. No one's there, so he decided that he was going to sit like around on the first baseline, maybe halfway down, literally in a sea of empty chairs. No one's there. Ushers come down, kick him out in a second.
Yeah,
now, I understand you can't have people sitting in seats that aren't theirs and on a Saturday game or when it's busy, but when there's 500 people in the fucking stadium, let them sit wherever. It's going to look better on TV.
Yeah, that's a good point. Trying to not look like Detroit.
especially if no one has those tickets that day.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to. There's not someone complaining to the ushers that someone's sitting in my seat, they won't leave. There was no one around him. No one was sitting in the seat he was in that day.
Speaking of, didn't we make a TikTok about that? Have we published that yet?
No, it's in my draft.
There's
the
a
skit.
There's a bit coming out about that, about being honoring your ticket even if you're in the last row.
No matter where you
look
sit.
out for that one. But anyways, that is it for a bit of the week, folks. We're going to take a quick commercial break before our interview with Vikings legend Chuck Foreman. Folks, as you know, It's a Bit is a proud partner of the Better Edge app. And if you don't know what Better Edge is, it is a legal online social betting marketplace that allows you to post and engage with other sports betting fans. You can place no commission positions in an online marketplace. They're not taking any money, any vig from you. You can compete in direct head-to-head challenges with bettors like myself, journalist Jake, producer Cam, Wags. You can send us bets, fade everything we say on this show. You can also compete in public or private betting competitions. They usually have a lot of them running for times like now, the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs. They might even do some stuff with golf this summer. And finally, you can buy or sell positions like the spread over under money line at their current market prices. So if you want to get in and legally sports bet in the state of Minnesota or any other state, you can use promo code 10K when you sign up for betteredge.com. Gets you a free $20 when you sign up and verify your ID. Once again, when you sign up for betteredge.com, use promo code 10K when you sign up to get a free $20 and verify your ID. Start betting today. All right, folks, welcome back to It's a Bit. We're joined by a very special guest. We have former NFL running back, voted as one of the top 50 greatest Vikings of all time, an absolute legend, Chuck Foreman. Chuck, it's great to talk to you. It looks like you got a very, very almost desert-themed background. I'm kind of trying to figure out where. I'm just curious, where do you live now?
Well, a little bit of something, This is my first time out, so this is in my dining room area. So, yeah, I guess Christina's got it the way she wants it.
Yeah,
I dare not touch it.
Yeah, it's not really up to you, is it?
Yeah, well, it looks good. It's a good background. So, are you still located in Minnesota? Then you still living out here?
Oh yeah, definitely in Minnesota. Yeah, this is it.
Awesome.
Well, so you were drafted by the Minnesota Vikings in 1973. When you were drafted by them, did you think that you'd be living in Minnesota for the good chunk of the rest of your life?
Hey, coming out of Miami or Florida, heck no. I didn't think I was going to be here all this time. I thought I'd be back in Miami. But this is a great place to live.
Would you say after all this time you're adjusted to the cold weather?
I would say so, but you got to get out of here at least once or twice during the winter. Otherwise, you might have some issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I read though that you were actually hesitant when you found out you were drafted by Minnesota. You were hesitant to come here specifically because of the cold, because you saw the videos of them using the flamethrowers on the old Met Stadium field, and you're like, oh shit, like I'm going to play up there.
Hey, back in those days, you had no choice. I might have disliked it when I saw it, but I knew that's where I was coming. But it was a great. I'm very blessed to have been drafted by the Vikings, a great organization, and a lot of great people when I got here. I really enjoy it.
Speaking of great people, you were coached by the legendary Bud Grant. I was just wondering what was it like to have him as a coach?
Bud was a real laid back kind of guy, very strict in what he wanted you to do. He had high expectations of you. He thought you should have been well. He was a consummate professional, and he did show you how to be a professional football player. That's for sure. And not just a pro, but a professional.
Yep.
Well, what do you think, Bud Grant? Obviously, like he just recently passed away, but I mean, he lived a long, healthy life. I mean, what do you think went in? What do you think the secret is from his perspective to living a long life like he did?
I really couldn't tell you that part of it, but I can only tell you he was active all the way up to 2 weeks before his passing, and he certainly was alert then. We were at a function for the alumni, NFL alumni, and he was taking questions, telling jokes. He was doing all that. He was still fishing. I don't know if he was out there hunting or not, but I know he was pretty active all the way to the end. So that's, that was his way of doing things.
Yeah, I was gonna say whatever you do to live a long life, you probably look at our lives and say the opposite. That's probably the best guess I'd give you. But what would you say is one thing from playing in your day that teams or players could never get away with now in terms of the style of the game, in terms of habits, or maybe things players do in the locker room? What would you say is one thing in your day that was completely different from the way it is now?
I think there's a lot of more trash talk, more things like that go on. I think the openness about how you feel about certain things in the game, it was really, really strict at that time. I mean, I don't know. I guess self-expression was not something that's something they frowned upon. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, whereas now players have Twitter and they can just openly talk shit about another teammate.
Just say dumb things.
Flat out. Happens all the time.
They say stuff like that, but it's like if I made a big play on a guy, I know one darn thing. I wasn't going to come back and get in his face and throw the ball and get up there and talk trash to him, because by that time there was a big target would be on your back for the rest of the game. And I mean, in those days, anything goes till the whistle blows. Yeah. So, you could do that if you want, but, you better be protecting yourself from that point on.
I saw a highlight video recently of the NFL in the 70s, and almost every hit in that highlight video would have been a penalty in today's NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
Oh, no. Yeah, no doubt. Like, you cannot compare the stats of my era to the stats of today. I mean, that's not to say the guys aren't great athletes, aren't great football players, but you can't judge a guy by those stats. You let quarterbacks throw for I don't know how many yards, but you can't even touch a quarterback. Yeah. I remember seeing a picture of this guy. His name was Y.A. Tittle. And I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but he was on his knees. He played for the New York Giants. And he was on his knees in this, I think it was a playoff game, and he was just bleeding all the way down. That's the way they used to beat up quarterbacks. And so, like, I'm not taking anything away from a guy's talent, or what he can do in his choices during the play, his ability to throw or whatever. But I'm telling you, stats need to go out the door. You can't make that comparison.
Well, I was going to say, you see a guy just gets maybe a little bit of a, maybe what would be equivalent to a paper cut by a player. He's down. He might be flopping on the ground looking at the ref for a flag. And then you're telling us there's a guy literally, it's like a damn horror movie out there. A guy's bleeding down his face, like he has like war paint on his face. And he's just like, yep, next play, let's go.
Yep.
You know, it's just.
Clean play.
I'm telling you. Exactly. That's the way it was in those days. And go online and check it out. You'll see. Just type that guy's name in there, man. That was how brutal they could be. You know, the defensive lines could be. They say meet at the quarterback. I know that was the motto of the Minnesota Vikings. When they met at the quarterback, they met not only meet, but beat him up.
Yeah.
So that's the way it was.
That's kind of like how playoff hockey is these days. You find the quickest star, you know, the most prevalent guy, and you just try to go after him and beat him up. It's similar like with a quarterback, I suppose. It's like, well, if they don't have that guy, then they're screwed. So that was probably just the strategy back then. And our producer is showing the picture of oh, my God. Okay, I see the photo now. Yeah, that's
wow. The blood coming down the face.
Yeah, he's
blood on the jersey
from everywhere.
That's
nuts.
incredible.
Oh yeah, he's on the knee. He's pretty beat up, you know, and that was the way it used to be. Now that was even way before my time, but that was the way it was when they on the quarterbacks back in my time. You know, and they did not slide. If you did that in that era, they think you were, you know, a chump.
Yeah.
You know, you did not slide. You didn't do any of that. So now it's good for the game and all that. I agree with that 100%. But it's a totally different game, and I love it still. But you know, the comparisons they make to who's the GOAT and who's not GOAT, because I don't even believe that anyway. But you know, there's different times and great players in every era for sure. But I don't go with all that stuff.
That's crazy because now if you don't slide, your team looks at you as almost like you're a bad decision maker. You're a liability because you're going to eventually get injured. Mm-hmm. It's funny to think that. Right. Yeah. Back in the day, there was if you did slide, you were
considered a coward.
Yeah. That's
all right. Okay, you got a $45 million player. He definitely gonna slide.
Yeah.
You got a $20 million running back. He definitely gonna slide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's different reasons today, and you know, like they tell you to slide. You know, if you don't have, and that's a smart way. I remember, you know, years ago, you know, I was at a function and Jim Brown was there, and he was talking about running the ball, and he said you need to be a smart runner. You got to know when to go down. I mean, there's no need fighting for two inches. Mm-hmm. If you can't go, if you can't break it, go down, come back another play. As a running back, that's how you create longevity. Most guys get hurt when they're in a pile trying to get a foot. You know, you better go down and come back the next play.
Is it true that absolutely horrible stuff happens at the bottom of a football pile?
Yeah, I've had some stuff happen to me. You know, yeah, for sure. I don't know if they still do it, but they grab at things.
Things we shall not disclose, but
yeah, for sure.
I think it was Mark Schlereth said he used to pee on people in the bottom.
Yeah, you know, and then also I remember getting tackled, and you know, I'm like, man, what'd y'all drink last night? That smelled like vodka. Was that? You know, it was like that too. So.
Jeez. Well, I mean, in terms of like the locker room or pregame or even postgame, I mean, what was it like back then in like the 70s when you played? Were people openly drinking beer or drinking hard liquor or smoking cigarettes?
The only thing I ever saw was smoking cigarettes at halftime.
God, that's still crazy.
I could not picture
my
that.
rookie year, I saw that. I'm like, what? You smoke? You know, it's kind of an eye opener, but I never saw, especially with our team. Bubba's pretty strict on a lot of different things. And now, like I said, it was a very mature team when I got here. Most of those guys already had 9, 10, 11, 12 years in the league when I got here. So they were pretty much dialed into everything Bud liked wanted his team to be like. And those guys set the example. And if you didn't, Bud didn't have to say anything. The guy, Jim Arthur Carella, you got Grady Alderman, or those guys like that. They would come out and tell you, hey, we don't do that around here.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And that was the way it went, right?
Is there Chuck? Is there a team that you despise the most? A team that you hated playing against every year?
Let me see. Not so much hated playing against, but I hated playing in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because at the time, Soldiers Field, they had those dugouts, and so when you sat on the sideline, they were dug in the ground. And what they would try to do if they would try to hit you, they try to throw you in that dugout as a runner or a receiver. That's where they wanted you to go.
Yeah.
You might get hurt coming in, but they were kind of cheap shot at the time. I guess most of those guys in the black and blue, they had an opportunity. They're gonna give you a cheap shot.
What was your favorite aspect about playing in the old Met, playing in the outdoors? I obviously was not born then, obviously, clearly, but I seen highlights, like I was talking about, seeing the flamethrower go on the field. But what was your favorite aspect about playing outdoors at the old Met?
It was a great place to play back in those days, but in the wintertime, in playoff time, when that sun would set behind the Met, that would go 20, 30, 35 degrees below normal temperatures, and generally at that time we'd be playing the LA Rams or somebody from a warmer climate, and that would be all she wrote.
Well, you guys could handle it, and there's no way they could handle it. I was just wondering, what do you think the coldest game you ever played in was?
I don't know. I think it may have been 30 some below zero, but we couldn't wear Bud wouldn't let you wear gloves and none of that kind of stuff.
Oh,
This is
my
gritty.
God.
Yeah, no, they didn't. They didn't have gloves back then. In fact, they had this stuff called stickum, and and he didn't like you to wear that either. But I did that one time, and I was told not to, and then it froze on my fingertips, so the balls kept slipping out of my hand. So they had to bring me in and take something to chip all the stickum off my fingertips, so I could hold on to the ball.
And meanwhile, these days they got a guy on payroll just to hold Mahomes' coat while he's on the field.
I know.
But I always bring this up every year, and we actually had the opportunity to watch the Vikings play at Highmark Stadium against the Bills. Do you think, as great as US Bank Stadium is, and as warm as it is in the winter, do you think the Vikings would have a massive advantage if they decided to go with an outdoor stadium? Because, like you mentioned, if you played against the Rams on a negative 20-degree day, that's all she wrote.
I think they lost probably 2 wins a year going indoors. That's my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
Because here in Minnesota, it does get pretty cold out there. And playing inside, playing outside, of course, everybody has the same. There's nobody that has the advantage other than you might have the home field advantage. But you have a team that comes in here with a lot of talent. It's just a wash. But there's no advantage. But trust me, as a fan, if I'm going to a game, I don't mind sitting in US.
It's a nice stadium.
Obviously, the concept has pros and cons. So the cons as a fan outweigh the pros for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, is it true that the first round pick that the Vikings just got, Jordan Addison, did he go to your high school?
No, Jordan's from Frederick.
Oh, he's from your hometown.
Yeah, he's from my hometown. The school that he goes to is called Tuscarora. They built that a few years ago after I left. There were just 2 high schools in Frederick High School and Thomas Johnson High School when I came out. And, they've had a couple of guys go in the first round from my hometown this year. So one played at Clemson and one started at Pitt, ended up at USC, and that's Jordan. And, I went to school with some Addisons back then. Now, I'm not sure they're the same Addisons, but the ones that I went to school with were all really good athletes and really bright guys. So I'm not sure. I called around to find out if, in fact, he was related to those guys. I haven't had any heard back yet, but anyway, he's a heck of a player.
Great football talent they got down there.
I'd say. Yeah, geez. Well, speaking of, you're from Frederick, Maryland, and you growing up, how was youth football back then? I mean, I know nowadays they're so focused on, concussion protocol and everything and head injuries, which is great. But I mean, what was it like growing up as a kid, playing football? I mean, what was the protection like? What was that all like for you?
Well, when I was coming up, they were just, as far as we used to call it, midget football, whatever you call it. That was the name of it when I came through. They were just starting to integrate it, as a matter of fact. And we had, I guess it was. Of course, they don't have the equipment like they have today, but I'm saying, you were pretty much protected, and the coaches, for the most part, were very aware of, protecting you, as a little guy. But like everything else, the game where really quick whether it's going to be the game for you, because it does hurt a little bit.
Yeah,
especially if you're someone who has to hold the ball when there's a team of people running at you. I know I got you. I mean, you could just look at me. I got destroyed in football, and it was a pretty short career for me. But did your style of football? So you were a pretty dynamic running back. You were able to obviously truck people, but then you also would catch the ball. Do you think that your era was kind of what inspired a lot of the running backs today who are dynamic, like a Christian McCaffrey, type style?
I don't think so. Because number one, I was the only one doing it.
Yeah. You were a trailblazer.
Well, I don't get credit for it, but myself and Lydell Mitchell, Lydell pretty much came out of the backfield mostly. If I lined up in the slot, outside, fullback, all over the place. So, I guess one of the things I'm just going to tell you is that offense that you're seeing and people are making popular today, because the quote unquote traditional running back is pretty much, they're trying to say he's obsolete. What's the so-called new today is the multi-purpose back, okay, which I was.
Yeah.
And then so we called that the purple offense. And then San Francisco came around and did some things, but they took our offense, they called it the West Coast offense. So Jerry Burns, our offensive coordinator, he and Bud Graham, they were really innovative people, and created that offense, the runner as receiver. And if you look at the Pro magazine in my time, they had a cover, Pro magazine. That was the magazine of the NFL, and it had runner as receiver, and I'm on the front page.
There we go.
You should have been getting triple payroll. You were doing 3 different positions. Yeah. You were running fullback too.
Fullback. I played fullback. And you see, in my time, and I don't know how they determine who's who and who's qualified to be what, but when they judge me as a football player, they just look at me as a fullback, okay, with so many yards, and then they don't look at my receiving yards and all the things I did from that particular part of the game. And to me, it's impact plays that distinguish whether you are a great player or not. I mean, you can have garbage plays, you can run for 100 yards, but if you give the ball up 4 times by fumbling, or you drop 4 balls, what the heck is that?
Right.
Okay. So what I'm saying to you is, I don't know who picks all these things and who decides who is the face of the multi-purpose back, but obviously they didn't see me play.
Yep. We're gonna have to dig up that magazine cover, and we'll help you gloat that. Yeah, you deserve
the trailblazer.
It's just a fact. I'm not saying anything that's just not right out there.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is and the way it was, and so. But I sit down and I listen and I read about guys multi-purpose back, and I'm like, wait a minute, the guy that created the whole thing is not even mentioned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's me. So
Yep.
Why that is, I don't know, but it is what it is.
How do you think you would have fared in the modern day NFL doing what they're doing?
My game. Certainly. Look at McCaffrey and all those guys. I mean, for sure. I wouldn't think about how much money I'd be making. It'd be generational money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm happy to see that the multi-purpose back is finally getting his recognition because those guys are great, great athletes. I'm not taking anything away from the Henrys and the other people, but I'm just saying when you're one-dimensional, you know, and I'm not saying other guys couldn't be multi-dimensional players, but at the time, in my time, that was it. You were a running back, fullback, whichever they decided you were going to be. And if you caught the ball, they didn't even think about that part of your game as being a part of your game. So now they're getting the recognition that they deserve, and I'm happy for them.
Well, and let's just all be honest. Football is more fun to watch when a running back can catch passes.
Yeah,
I can't quite explain why that is. Same as if a quarterback can run. It's just it's fun to see more things happen,
more dynamic.
And even tight ends catching the ball too.
Yeah, that's right.
And then tight ends, but you know the opportunity for a running back to isolate one-on-one with a linebacker. Well, that's just like, you know, that's a gift there.
You'll take that all day.
You got guys like that can a running back that gets to that second wave, and he's getting rid of the linebacker anyway, but he's coming through that first wave first. But if he's catching the ball, he's only got to get rid of one guy. But that's a great advantage.
Well, I'm sure you still have enough athleticism to go up literally right now against some of these running backs.
Yeah, throw you in the slot.
Put you out there. He can still catch some balls.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Like I tell you, I hear you talking.
Just saying words.
No, I can think about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. But I enjoy watching the players of today. You know, they got some great athletes out there. And they're really – the game has changed in a lot of great ways. So. And I'm glad they are protecting the players a lot more. Yeah. I might say, you know, I mean, because some of the things that we did back in my time is just ridiculous. But now they're protecting the players. You get to see them out there. They can speak their minds and say what they want to say.
Yep.
Some of them go overboard, but some of them talk their way out the league. So
Do you think? And this might be an obvious answer, I guess. But do you think the officiating has gotten better, or do you think it's gotten worse, or do you think it was worse in your time when you played? Because I'm thinking particular of a play I think you were a part of. It might have been 1974, 1975 NFC Championship against the Dallas Cowboys, the notorious no call on the OPI or pass interference. So I just got to ask. Well, first off, how were your feelings about that when that happened against the Cowboys?
Well, it was heartbreaking because, you know, you saw. I mean, we're sitting there watching. Of course, you're watching on TV, but there's hardly any replay.
Yeah.
You know, at that time, or you could go back, or you know, to replay a play to see if it would be overturned or all that kind of stuff. Obviously, it would have been. But today's game, you know, you make a call, it's a bad call. Everybody can see because they got every angle there is to see. So you make mistakes, you get called out on it. So I think that's a good part of the game because I don't think anybody should lose a game on a bad call.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it happened to you in the 70s.
Yeah,
but,
one of the most famous plays in NFL history. Yeah,
that's one of the big. And that was our best football team too.
Yeah,
1975. That was our best football team. No doubt about it.
It just sucks. Well, I was saying this day and age of social media, it's definitely circulated. I think it gets posted at least once a year, like the anniversary of it or something. It's like we should stop posting this because I don't know if it's bad juju or it's just depressing, but you know, to go along with a lot of the other Vikings heartbreak that we have experienced in our lifetime. But we've definitely seen it.
Well, in your lifetime, they never been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I know.
You got to be heartbroken. I mean, you know, come on.
I know.
Yeah, we were just reading a stat about how since 1991, when the Twins were in the World Series, Minnesota has had the longest championship drought where we haven't even been to one. Into
a championship in all four out of all metro areas with all four major teams that exist in that area, we've made it to like 50 playoffs combined and have not even been in a championship final or a championship.
Ever since we've been alive, we've never seen a Minnesota team in a championship.
It's insane.
Yeah, since you guys been alive, that's what I'm saying. When they're making comparisons to Viking football teams, until they get a team at least in the Super Bowl, we're the best.
100%.
Well,
And that's the way I look at it. You could, we've had a lot of great players come through here now. Don't misunderstand that.
Yeah, right.
Talking about teams and things like that. I mean, they had some good teams, but they never even got to the dance.
No.
And winning in these pro leagues is just so hard. I feel like it gets harder every year with the talent and everything. But I know a big offseason question for the Vikings is possible alternate jerseys. Would you like to see kind of like a throwback jersey to your era of Vikings football? Because I know a lot of fans want to see that for an alternate.
I don't know if it's going to bring you any wins. It'll give you a new look or a different look. Or maybe
take what you can get.
Play good.
It's been 50 years since I've been drafted, and at the 50th year, we drafted a guy in the first round from my hometown who was a super athlete. So who knows what could happen?
Once again, football town.
Maybe, I don't know if it's a football town, but I'm saying, look, Frederick, Maryland, Minnesota, who knows?
And
I think he's the right guy at the right time, because if he can just follow, the other guys we have, and do and just Justin Jefferson is a very special talent.
Oh yeah.
And all he's got to do is just go follow him and do everything he's doing, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Well, and we're 50 years since you've been drafted, and now you said it's we have a player now from your hometown. Well, now and you made Super Bowls, so we're gonna make Super Bowls. It's declared now.
Rookie of the year, yeah. Maybe he's the rookie of the year too.
Yeah.
There we go
with JJ and KJ.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, you never know.
He's got a good group around him, so all he's got to do is hopefully the Vikings will get it all together this year and make some noise.
Yep.
100%. My last question I wanted to ask was just how cool was it watching your son play in the NFL?
Great. Jay, he played in the NFL. My younger son, Anthony, he played in college. He did really well. He decided to go a different direction, but but Jay was really, really good when he played. And Anthony's darn good when he played, and he was different after he got out of college. But it's always great to watch your kids do well. My daughters, they do well. I've been very lucky. Let me just cross that heart there. But I've been very lucky to have 4 great, great young people in my life. So I've enjoyed going. I have a lot of football games with those 2 guys, and my daughters, all of them. So it's been great.
Yeah, it's definitely something special when a sport like that can bring your family together.
Yeah, for sure.
The last question I had for you, Chuck, was I think this is obvious, but how did you get your nickname, the Spin Doctor? Did you just have the filthiest spin in the league? Or?
No, I don't know to be quite honest with you. The only thing I know is how I started to make the spin move.
Yeah.
And that was because when I was a kid, Earl Pearl Monroe played for the Baltimore Bullets, they used to call him at the time, and he was from Winston-Salem State back in those days. And first of all, he's from an all-black school, and then he came to there. That was kind of unheard of. But anyway, he had the spin move. When he'd come up to basketball court, he'd spin to get away from guys and shoot that jumper. Well, we all tried to emulate that, right? And so that was always a part of my basketball game, too, when I played basketball in high school and college. I was like, okay, let's do that. But one day we were playing against the Houston Oilers at the time. I'll never forget it. And I saw a space I wanted to get to out there. And I decided to do this little spin move to get to this space. I wasn't trying to get rid of a guy. I was trying to get to a space over there, and it worked. And I said, wow. So he was there, and I was over there, and that's how it all started.
The rest was history.
Well, that's great. You also have to be one of the first people then ever to bring the spin move into the NFL, right?
I would say that I was. Especially what I call a controlled spin move. In other words, when I did the spin, I wasn't just spinning. I was spinning to get into an open area. I knew I was going to get rid of the guy, but I was going to open space.
Well, when people hit the B button in Madden, it's all because of him.
I was just about to say it's because of you. You've pissed off a lot of Madden players
Exactly.
that have been burned by the spin move
Yeah.
in Madden leagues and all that. So that's great.
Right.
The last question I had for you was, is it true you are a substitute teacher?
Yeah, I've substituted for for many years. And some other stuff too, but that substitute, even I get calls every day to come in. But since COVID and all that, I haven't been going into the classroom. I went, let me see, I think at the beginning of the year I went maybe once. I haven't been back since, but I might go back before the year's out. I got a few weeks for it. But yeah, so I kind of laid back on all that stuff. I'm kind of in a good place.
Dude, it would be so crazy. Your teacher's sick. You come into class and there's Chuck Foreman.
Well, I was already gonna say kids already love to see a substitute teacher because that means you're probably watching a movie.
Yeah, they like that. They like that because they think it's going to be a free day. Except for when I get there, it's not a free day.
Well, you're teaching spin moves.
Yep.
It's like kids were
spin moves.
You're gonna learn what football was like in the '70s.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I used to. I mostly did most of my subbing at a place called Kennedy High School.
Yep.
Here in Bloomington, and of course, there's been a lot of change. Several different principals and all that. And then a lot of with everything else. So, I'm kind of doing what I want to do, and I go in every now and then.
That's awesome. Do you have any tactics to handle misbehaved students?
They generally don't mess with me 'cause when I go in there, here's what I found out. This when you come in there and you don't have to be real hard on them, but I just tell them straight, look, this is what my responsibility is. This is the lesson plan. Let's get this done. And then I'll give you the rest of the time to do whatever you want. That's how I do it.
Yeah.
And generally, 90% of the time, it works. At 10% of the time, you get some kids that just go off the chain, but I don't even get into any disputes with them. I just get on the phone and say, hey, come get them.
There you go.
Well, I was saying, you say all that stuff like this is my responsibility. This is what I'm trying to do. I think you just throw in also, I played football in the 70s.
Yep.
I think that'll put a lot of people in line.
I played for Bud Grant.
I witnessed people bleeding.
Most of the times, like when I go into the classroom, they already know that I played for the Vikings. I think most of them. I don't know whether the sub tells them the teacher tells them that I'm coming in the sub or what have you. But like I said, I have really backed off on that quite a bit, but it's enjoyable.
That's cool. Yeah.
A lot of bright kids out there, so a lot of bright kids, and I'm happy to see where the world's gonna be.
Yep,
that's good.
My generation sure messing it up.
Yep. Well, Chuck, this has been a blast. Before we let you go, we kind of do a signature thing here called the rapid fire. We're just gonna ask you 10 questions and try to fly through them as fast as we can. If you're ready for that.
Okay. All right.
So, first question: greatest player you ever got to play with?
I'm not answering that. I played with a lot of great players.
That's the correct answer.
I will say this, though. I played with a lot of great players and had a lot of good friends on the team. But I will say the guy that I played with that I admired most was Alan Page. I'll put that.
Okay. Yep.
Great admiration for him.
Yep. You just mentioned you're a substitute teacher, so this one fits in perfectly. How many fourth graders could you fend off in self-defense?
I don't know, man. They can just run me out just by just saying, Mr. Foreman. I'll run away from them.
The answer is 0 if they say your name. Which city do you prefer, Minneapolis or St. Paul?
Well, I guess they're all the same there. St. Paul's it's more homey like. Minneapolis is, I don't know. I like them both. I have no preference.
Yeah, they're a good 1-2 punch.
Right, they are.
I know we talked about, your least favorite team to play against. You mentioned playing in Chicago, but who would you say was the most difficult person or maybe group of people you played against? Is there any linebackers that always got you or defensive linemen?
Okay, I would say this. The one guy that I always remember, I played against a lot of great guys. Fred Carr, Green Bay Packers, he was like 6'5", 240, could run fast. There's a whole lot of different guys, a lot of different a lot of different talents. But the guy that I remember most, though, was a guy by the name of Jack Ham. He played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You ever go out in the summertime with a whole bunch of gnats around?
Yep.
Keep swatting at them, trying to get them to go away, but they always around. That's how he was. You go out, you put a move on him, you think you beat him by 3 or 4 yards, and he's still on your hip.
Yeah.
And he was a very savvy guy. I mean, I could beat him, no doubt about that, but he was always around. He was not somebody I could just get rid of. I thought he was one of the better athletes to play that position.
If you look at a picture of him, this is what I imagine like a really good defensive player looked like in the in the older days of football. Like,
bulky pads,
he's
and
big
everything.
and he's got tape around his hands because he's just always jamming them in you. Yeah.
He's got a beard.
Yep.
He's got the look.
He's a big tough guy.
He just looks annoying.
He's a really talented guy.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?
Nope.
If you're given an all expenses paid trip to North Dakota, would you take it?
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. Okay.
Which is more satisfying, a running touchdown or a passing touchdown where you catch it?
Wow. I mean, I scored a lot in a lot of different ways. Always felt the same.
Yep. It's great either way, as long as you get it across the line.
Right.
What would you say is your least favorite fast food place?
I don't know. I can't really say.
Yeah, there's not a lot of bad ones.
No.
If a movie was made about your life, who would play you?
Who would play me? Sure, man. I guess Denzel would do a great job.
Yeah.
There we go.
Can't go wrong with Denzel.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that at all.
Right.
And then the final one, if you were an ump in baseball, what would your strike 3 call be?
What would my strike 3 call be?
Yeah.
Low and outside, right on the corner.
All right. There you go.
There we go.
That's the spot they'd get you.
Yep.
Well, Chuck, we appreciate you so much for taking the time and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
We're big football fans and Viking fans, so it's always great to, kind of talk to someone who played, before we started watching the game. So this has been awesome.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are still there and you got this nice podcast going, and I'm privileged to be a part of it. And it's good that you're out here, keeping the Vikings, where they need to be, and hopefully, one of these days soon, you guys, I'll come on here when they at the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
All right, sounds good.
That's our dream.
It's going to happen.
Talk about that experience together, right?
You're coming on if we win the Super Bowl. There we go.
Yep.
I'm coming on if we get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. We need to do that
Seriously.
first.
We need to get to a championship
one
first.
step at a time here.
Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is just a reminder to check out all the podcasts under the 10K brand. Obviously, you have our podcast, the It's a Bit podcast, but we also have a podcast called The Has-Beens, which are 2 former college hockey players, pretty much talking to all the coolest hockey people around. We also have other great shows like It's Just a Nickname, State of Skull, which is our Vikings podcast, Third and Forever, which is just our general NFL podcast. We got Wild Taste, which provides nonstop wild coverage, and a lot more. JJ, of course, is playing his son during the ad read. That's just so inappropriate. But also, you can go to 10ktakesmn.com. You can check out all of our wonderful blogs. You can go to our shop. You can get links to all of our socials, and you can learn a little bit about us. Or if you want to advertise with us, you can go to the site as well. Once again, that's 10ktakesmn.com. Thanks for support. Thanks for your support.
All right, folks, welcome back to It's a Bit. Electric interview with Chuck Foreman. We've already set it in stone now. If the Vikings make it to the Super Bowl, he's going to come on for the next episode. So really awesome guy. Like we mentioned, just kind of getting educated on the game, that we grew up loving, and what kind of prefaced it, I think, was the coolest part, just hearing about football back in his day. And and it's funny because when I put down that question about him inspiring the dynamic running back position, I was kind of kidding, because I watched his tape and I was like, okay, maybe he is the first one to do this, maybe he's not. I don't have the time to figure that out, so I just threw it out there, and he's like, yeah, I was one of the first people to do that. And the spin move, I mean, talk about possibly the godfather of the running back position. I think we can upgrade him to that title at this point.
Yeah, more than just a north-south straight up the middle kind of guy. He just did everything.
Well, and the fact that it took the NFL like 40 years after him to even catch up and really to start doing that regularly is crazy. When he proved that it was viable back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But anyways, let's close out the show with 15 questions. You can hear the dread in my voice. There's a lot of things I'm not good at in life. This game is one of them. So let's just fucking get it over with. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me at this point, because I know I'm gonna give something to this son of a bitch, and he's gonna end up winning the game.
Depends on the order.
Well, it's gonna happen.
Didn't you win last game?
No, I've only won
Someone
one.
won.
I've won one time.
It's funny. This is by far my favorite segment we do. Like,
Well,
anytime I
you
see it,
win a
I'm-
lot, though.
Yeah,
Who
anytime I see
won
him,
last time? I don't think it was me.
It was
I
you.
think it was you, and I remember
I thought it was tied.
Two of the ones you won, it was because
Or no,
of
maybe it was me.
questions.
I think it was
guessed.
Cam.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm gonna start keeping track. Starting from so everything that we've ever done with 15 questions, that was
Also,
preseason.
Josie, if you're still listening to the show, I know you were creating a bit tracker. I want a status update on that. Josie
True.
spent like way too much time listening back to the first ever episode all the way until the current, and he was tracking the bits and categorizing them, and he was going to have a breakdown of what
You
they
still don't
involve.
have it,
Yeah,
Josie.
So we
Damn it.
have it on my desk by Monday morning. Oh,
Yep.
you're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
Well, pretty much. For those of you who don't know, 15 questions is essentially a head-to-head version of 20 questions. We got 5 rounds and 3 participants. That's why it is called 15 questions. The real trick of this game is to ask a question without giving too much away. Because if you ask a question like, does he play for the Vikings? And I say yes, everyone's gonna have a pretty good guess of what to do, right? So kind of being wary of what you're gonna ask. Again, no guessing in the first round. JJ made that rule, and then we're gonna have a 60-second overtime round if no one gets it in the first 15. Are you guys ready to go?
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's get it over with.
We
Fuck it.
start with Cam to Jake to Bossman, and we're gonna do a topic is gonna be TV show.
Ooh. What streaming service is this TV show on?
Hulu. Currently, that's where I watch it.
Okay. Is this show still currently making new episodes?
Not it's 2023. They're gonna make new episodes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which I guess this is this year, but it hasn't been released yet.
Okay.
Is it a cartoon?
It is a cartoon.
Shit. Is it American Dad?
It's not American Dad.
Is it a comedy?
It is a comedy.
Is it? No, that's not it. Shit. I was gonna say Family Guy, but Family Guy's they've already made episodes in 2023. Oh boy. Is it Bob's Burgers?
It's not Bob's Burgers. It's a good show. I
Damn
love the
it.
show.
I know
Damn
you like
it.
Bob's Burgers.
I have 2 in mind, and I just feel like it's not going to come back to me.
Let's hear it.
Is it South Park?
It's not South Park.
Fuck.
And they're HBO, right?
They are.
They are. Yeah.
Comedy Central, but they post
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Not on Hulu anymore.
I know what
Sucks.
it is.
Is it Futurama?
It is
Yeah.
Futurama.
Damn
Ding,
it.
ding, 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 ding.
I
They're
don't know why.
reviving
I've
that.
never liked that show.
Show stinks.
It's
I
actually
loved
great.
it.
But that's like the 10-year-old me who probably didn't understand any of the humor.
Yeah, I didn't watch it when I was a kid. I started watching it after college, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I would watch
I'll probably
it
have to get into that.
Watched it. Like
Well,
I
it's
think
kinda
it's been
a lot of-
revived twice.
It has, yeah.
No.
But I know growing up, a lot of people hated King of the Hill,
Yeah.
and now a lot of people who I
Yeah.
know love King of the Hill. So it just tastes.
King of the Hill's the best.
Yeah.
Yes, but a lot of kids think it's boring.
Yeah.
Which
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn
Okay,
it, Bobby.
Maybe Jack will fare a little bit better in this round. The topic is golf. Jack will go first, JJ, then Cam.
Okay, is it a golfer?
No.
Is it a piece of equipment?
It's used in golf, yes.
Oh.
Shit. What is the main, I guess, is it fuck, I don't know what to say because that's such a weird answer. It's used in golf.
You can't guess anyway, so just
I
ask
know.
a question.
I'm not going to get this one, obviously. Is it a golf term?
No.
Jack, you're up.
Is it a golf term? No. We established its equipment.
It's used in golf.
He said his answer to
It's
is
used
it
in golf. Is it
yeah.
used in the broadcast of golf?
No, it's not.
Is it a caddy?
It's not a caddy.
Fuck.
Don't overthink the use it. I mean, you can consider it equipment, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Is it
Okay.
Is it a ball washer?
It's not a ball washer.
Balls.
It's not your mom.
Is it the flag?
It's not the flag.
Oh. Is it the hole?
It's not the hole.
Oh.
The fuck? Is it the golf ball itself?
No. Remember, sorry, this last time we played this, the topic was baseball and the answer was baseball, and none of you fuckers got it.
Yeah.
What was the answer on that again?
It was a baseball, yeah.
That's why I
it
said
was
it.
used in
right.
baseball.
That's why I asked if it was a golf ball.
We guessed all the way to the sack of
Yeah,
of whatever that shit.
But you never
Rosin.
said,
A
you
baseball
never
bat
said
and
baseball
everything.
itself.
God.
Or
Sometimes you got to go
idiots.
back to the basics.
So that was good that Cam said the golf ball.
Is it a tee?
It's not a tee.
Is it the fairway?
It's not the fairway.
Damn it.
It's used in golf plays. You need it for golf.
You need it.
You
for
need a fairway.
golf.
Not necessarily.
Is
Mini-
it just
mini
a
golf.
It's just like a broad it's just a golf club.
Okay, so I'm gonna. This counts as your thing. It's a golf club. It's a specific type of golf club.
There we
Thank
go.
Okay. So now it's just the race to the
Okay, that's
proper
good.
club.
Oh goodness.
Is it up to? Is it me?
Yeah.
I guess. Is it the putter?
It's not the putter. Fuck. It's so specific.
Is it the sand wedge?
It's not. I almost did stand wedge, but I was worried no one would guess
I think
that.
you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
I know, I
Or maybe
am
you're
too.
not. Maybe he just picked a fucking.
I think it's the 3-wood.
It's not the 3-wood. You guys are a lot closer. We'll just keep guessing until someone gets.
Is it the driver?
It's not the driver.
What the fuck?
See, I want to. Is
Start
it?
guessing irons, Jake.
Well, that's the thing. Is can I?
You could do whatever you want to do.
It's your world.
Is it the 7-iron?
It's not the 7-iron.
I was gonna ask, is it an iron? But obviously, you wouldn't have accepted that.
Well, he would have accepted that.
He would have
I
accepted
would've
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but is
but-
that? But is that the answer?
But
That,
you
you already
that
asked
wasn't
the
your
question.
question.
So
You
I'll
would-
do it for you, you fucking pleb. Is it an iron?
It is an iron.
Thank you.
I thought maybe
Yeah.
that could have been the
Oh.
answer.
Okay, so
so-
this is the best chance I've ever stood because usually I don't know the topic, but this time I know. It's a guessing game at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, it is.
Is it the 6-iron?
It's the 6-iron.
Is
Ding,
it?
ding, ding, ding,
Is
ding.
it? Is it because Eli calls himself 6-iron and no one else does?
No,
is that related?
I thought of that. That's why I ended up choosing it.
That's what
Yeah,
I
'cause
figured you were
everyone
gonna
calls him
do.
that.
So
6-iron.
Eli from State of Skull claims his nickname is 6-iron, and no one's ever called him that before.
Yeah,
Fraud.
6-iron. Why? I 6-iron.
So right now, Jake has a point and Jack has a point.
Okay.
On the board.
This next one, you guys all have a pretty good chance of getting it. It's the topic is former Minnesota Twins. We'll go Jake, Cam, Jack.
Former Minnesota Twins. All right. Did he?
Jake's gonna ask if he played for the Twins.
Was he a part of a team that won a playoff game?
No, he was not.
Oh.
Pitcher or a hitter?
He was in the field.
So that would mean a hitter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
I almost just asked a question that for sure would have given it away. Was he famous for robbing home runs?
No, he was not.
That would have
That
given it
would've
away,
given it away,
too.
too.
I was
But-
going to ask if he was a Gold Glove, and I'm like,
But
nope.
that also cancels it out a little
It
bit.
does.
Wow.
Jake, why are your eyes so big?
Yeah, you look like you're on speed, bro.
Dean Evison, bitch.
He's trying to buy time by distracting us
Well, I'm
with his
trying to
facial
think of a question
expressions.
that doesn't give it away.
No one's gonna guess it on your expression.
Yeah.
Just come on,
You
Jake.
look like you're shitting.
Nick Punto.
Holy shit!
It's Nick Punto.
How the heck did you get it?
I looked at the sheet. No, I'm joking. I just said Nick Punto. Is that it, really?
There's a
You
reflection
serious?
in the
No,
Billy
no,
G sign
yep.
thing.
I
That's
don't know.
calling the rules committee. If
Nick
not-
Punto was like the first guy that came to mind. and I
Kangaroo
just said
court.
It was. I mean, I wrote down so much facts just in case
Well,
you asked the question.
Jack's question was actually like pretty good because it canceled out. It wasn't like any good fielder like Jock Jones or Torrey Hunter. I'm like, okay, I'm going to think of a random infielder, Nick Punto.
Yeah.
And that's it.
A
Okay.
little trivia with him. Did you know that he actually won a World Series?
With the Cardinals.
Yep.
After the Twins.
Yep. Literally the year after he left, 2011.
Classic.
Yep.
Okay, this next topic will be, so really quick, Jack has a point, Jake has 2 points. Our next topic is video games. Cam, Jack, Jake.
Oh shit.
Is it a sports video game?
No.
What do you mean what? It could be
He
something.
hesitated. That's
Is
why I
it
said-
is it a current video game? Like is it the newest? Is it new? Sorry, is it new as of 2022?
It's not necessarily a video game itself.
Yeah, see, that's
Oh, okay.
Is it a gaming console?
It's not a gaming console.
Is it a? I'm not gonna ask that. I'm just actually. Yeah, I'll just guess. Is it just the company PlayStation?
No, it's not.
Okay.
So we've asked if it's a console, if it's a company. Is it? Were you about to just ask?
No, I was about to correct Cam. The company isn't called PlayStation.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
The
I knew
company's
that was
Sony.
coming.
The company's actually called Sony. Cam.
The company's actually called Sony.
According to my calculations, I'm a douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also a
Jesus.
nerd. Where's my calculator?
Fuck off, Jake. Is it a video game character?
It is a video game character.
I like this.
I don't know.
I'm a big campaign guy, so I really hope you guys aren't.
Uh-oh.
I'm fucked.
Can I guess now? We're in the second.
yes,
I guess
yes.
game.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it Captain Price?
It's not Captain.
I was actually gonna guess
Captain Price.
Captain
Is
Price.
this Sonic the Hedgehog?
It's not. It's a funny guess.
Yeah. Let me make us look collectively a little smarter as a group by asking a little more obvious question. Is it like a Nintendo character?
It's not a Nintendo character.
Peaches.
That's actually a good question.
We would have opened up a whole new can
Yeah.
of whoop ass
Yeah,
there.
Peaches,
There's a lot of them.
Peaches. Jack Black. I haven't seen the movie. I just seen that.
Sam.
Is it a character from a rated M video game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it a character from a campaign?
Yeah.
Is it Ghost?
It's Ghost.
Damn it!
Look at
Iconic.
The recent.
I was actually gonna also go guess Slope McTavish.
There was,
That
there
was
was
a good one.
legitimately zero chance I was ever going to get that.
Ghost is iconic
You don't
though.
know Ghost?
Even
No.
even
the characters, Mason.
well, people who know memes know Ghost. Remember that meme that was
Yeah.
going around where it was just him staring at it?
haven't
It's
seen
like that was a good bit.
Recently, yeah.
Ghost is actually one of my
Mason.
one of my childhood heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys will like this next topic. The topic is goalies. Jack is first. Jake is second. Cam is
Oh.
third. It's currently tied up 2-2 between Jack and Jake.
So it's me first.
You're first.
Is it a hockey goalie?
It's a hockey goalie.
Okay,
yes.
that's a good one. Is this
Could have been
goalie?
soccer.
Is this
Or
goalie
lacrosse.
retired?
No, he's active.
Oh,
Eastern or Western Conference?
Oh, currently, same conference as the Minnesota Wild.
So Western.
So the loser West Coast concert. No, I'm kidding. Oh boy, I almost asked a question that would have really narrowed it down, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. Is this? No, I can't do that because that would have given it away real quick. Has this goalie ever won a Vezina?
No.
is it Jake Ottinger?
It's not Jake Ottinger.
That'd be two
This
ups.
is just a random ass guess. Is it Connor Hellebuck?
It's not. That is a random guess, but it's good. It's a goalie. You're on
That
the
is
right
a
track.
good guess.
I'll get us closer. Is this player still in the playoffs?
No.
That helps.
That does a lot.
Darth Vader.
He does not.
Alexander Gorgiev.
Nope.
He was in the playoffs.
I think you're trying to throw us off when you said same conference as the Wild. Philip Gustafson.
Nope.
Is it
That would have been good, though.
Alex Stalock?
How the fuck did you know that?
Because
should
you
know
know
that.
I love Stalock. he was an icon down in Chicago.
As a South St. Paul guy, I'm very
I know.
upset at
Yeah.
myself.
I was gonna say
That's Cam's one to get.
you
Wow.
got to pick a Minnesota guy, and
Damn it.
our guy got left out to dry down there in Chicago.
I picked Connor Hellebuck over
Over
Stalock.
Stalock.
I'm a
I
fucking
know,
moron.
dude. I try to choose someone that would have some relevance.
I also forget that the Blackhawks are a franchise. So.
Right. I don't blame you for that, man. So pretty much Jack has us in the bag unless Jake wins this next round.
Okay.
However, Cam can win just for the moral aspect.
I'm winning it for Jack.
I
So Jake doesn't
appreciate
win because I
that.
fucking hate Jake.
Okay, this is kind of a.
Was that just an outburst? What was that?
That was
Charlie Brown's teacher?
That was an imitation.
This is a weird category, but I'm interested to see how you guys do with this. The category is he's not that guy.
Oh.
JJ, Cam, Jack. He's not that guy.
Just not that guy.
I like
pal.
this. It's like a Jeopardy topic.
This is like this is a fraud.
What is all right? He's not that guy. Is this guy an actor?
No,
Is it a athlete?
it is an athlete.
What sport is this athlete?
The NBA.
The Naba.
Huh?
Really great radio there.
The Naba.
Yeah.
Shut up.
NBA.
Cool. That's how it's spelled.
The Ba.
Just stop.
I hate you.
Calm down.
Come on.
Give us a 1-star review if you hated
Is,
that. We fucking deserve it.
From yeah.
The Naba.
Like chill.
Just say an answer.
God.
You mean a question too?
Okay, do something. No one is sitting in
okay.
their car.
Let me ask. Is this player currently in the playoffs?
No.
Before I ask, I have came to the conclusion that you are our podcast version of White Sox Dave. I hate you.
I love it. Just go.
Is he playing in the Eastern or Western Conference?
Oh my goodness! I didn't think you'd ask me. Let me.
Google it.
Everyone, look away from my computer.
Jake, make your noises because we have dead air.
Ding, 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 ding.
And what about the Nahul?
Western Conference.
And the Hill.
The Western Conference.
The Emerald.
Okay, we've established it's a current player
Yeah, current player in the Western Conference.
in the Western Conference.
Not in the playoffs.
Not in the playoffs.
That's all been established.
That has all been established. See, now I'm fucking doing it. Just to, he's not that guy. Was he in the playoffs before?
Yes, he was.
Fuck.
I got
Why
it.
did I ask that?
I know you gave it away.
Not necessarily, because I'm an idiot.
I don't think he gave it away.
Well, I mean, I certainly gave you guys.
Carl Anthony Towns.
No,
It's Rudy Gobert.
it's not. Those
I
are
do have-
both good guesses.
I do have another guess, though.
He's not that guy. Oh boy. He's not. He was in the playoffs. He's not anymore. Oh God, what is his? Is it Dylan Brooks?
It's
Congratulations.
Dylan Brooks. Oh, that was
Who's that again?
So
That's why I knew
little
you were
backstory.
done.
He basically going into the series with LeBron and the Lakers said LeBron's old. He's washed up. He ain't gonna do shit. I don't respect him as a player until you put up 40 on me. I don't respect you, which, by the way, if someone puts up 38 against you, I think you have to dish some respect
It's
out.
not 40.
That is a hell of a threshold for Dylan Brooks. And, yeah, he's basically done.
Well,
You talking about the Memphis?
So today,
Yeah.
the Memphis Grizzlies, they announced that they're not going to be re-signing him too.
He
Oh,
will be playing
yeah,
for the Shanghai
damn it.
Sharks.
So he talked all that
Everybody saw
shit,
shit about
and then
that.
he didn't even talk to the media. He took the
But-
$5,000 fine every game and didn't do it.
Not only did Memphis say they're not re-signing him, they said under any circumstances
yes.
whatsoever.
Everyone on their team could get COVID and get long COVID and never play a game again, and they still aren't bringing back Dylan
Yep,
Brooks.
long-
And
COVID.
LeBron has played fantastic. He played great in that against us. He played great in
right.
that series.
Unfortunately.
When's first of all, do you know that the NBA under their like drug testing policy, like they actually allow so you know how Joe Rogan does TRT? They allow a lot more. You're allowed
And
to take
DMT.
and of course, but they allow a lot more TRT than even Rogan takes.
What's
to-
TRT?
Testosterone replacement therapy. It's essentially steroid. They actually allow more than Rogan takes as a threshold that you won't even get in trouble for that.
Wow.
So that's why I think that people like LeBron are able to play so good in their older age. They're all on TRT or they're all on something similar, and
Yeah.
they're just under the NBA's threshold.
It is so funny though. Like we always talk about the NBA and the drama and how they're so different from every other league. But can you imagine if before an NHL series against the Penguins, if you were Sid's an old fuck, he's not going to get a single point. Can you imagine playing a playoff game in front of Tom Brady, playing against Tom Brady, and having someone on the defense say, "I don't respect him. He doesn't earn my respect until he throws 4 touchdowns." That would never happen in any other league. No one would go up against Tiger. I'm not going to say the GOAT thing about LeBron because I think it's MJ,
by far.
but all I'm saying is in no other sport would someone go up against a player that great of that caliber with so much disrespect. So I say fuck him.
You know what? You know what else I learned about Dylan Brooks today?
What?
Canadian.
Oh, fuck him.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
from Canada.
He's a trash person.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I hated him at Oregon, too.
You know he's our age.
He stinks.
Really?
He's our age.
Fuck
Yeah,
him.
Oh my
26
God.
range.
He does look like he's 30. 35.
He looks like he looks like he's 35, grown ass man.
Yeah.
Speaking of TRT levels, I think they're going to do like the Disney bit and keep raising the threshold.
That'll make sports way more
Just
exciting.
to allow LeBron to never retire, so they're going to keep injecting with it so he can play as long as possible, just like they keep extending
True.
the copyright for Disney
Well,
so
dude,
no one can take it
I've been
over.
seeing people bringing up, LeBron's doing this at age 38, 39, however old he is. Yeah. When Jordan was 36, he was only putting up so many points. Dude, Jordan wasn't taking, and I'm not full out saying that LeBron's a steroid user or anything. I'm just saying the way the NBA rules work, it would not surprise me one bit if he was just taking TRT and under the tolerance.
Hey,
Yeah, and technology wasn't there yet, or science.
all I'm saying is pump Flower with a little TRT pregame too,
Yep.
and we win that series.
You know, we got to start researching the NHL drug policy. If we can find, we got to inform Bill Guerin. If we find a loophole,
God.
we can find an HGH contact for
Yeah.
these guys.
Can
a
you
TRT
can you
contact.
imagine if
Steroids.
if it's 4th of July weekend and Bill Guerin gets a text at 3 a.m. from Jake and it
Hey,
says,
idea.
"Have you ever heard of TRT?" Question mark.
You ever done TRT?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
God.
idea. Inject Flurry with it.
Give it
What
to
the fuck are
give
you
it to
talking
anyone
about?
over the age of 30. Fuck it.
Yeah. Do it.
Oh.
Make leagues more entertaining.
Well, hey Jack, this is the first. I'm keeping track of all the winners of all time. The long preseason was over. I know you didn't have any success, but Starting
Damn.
off the year, dude, you're 1-0, dude.
That was a really long preseason. And it's funny. I talked a lot of shit about myself, which I'm gonna start doing more. It's called undercommitting, over delivering. Cam, would you wait like 10 seconds?
No,
Cam, he's giving his Victorian speech.
This is a great bit. I'm going into the State of Skull, who is live right now.
Oh,
no!
Eli wanted me to join that.
I'm gonna say, Eli, do you know that nobody calls you 6 Iron?
Yep. Say we just talked about on It's a Bit. No one calls you
fuck
6
you
Iron.
guys. Oh.
I can't do it on Twitter.
By the way, Eli is one of the guys on the Fire Bill Guerin train. He was texting me about it today. And like,
well,
I don't know why
he has
you don't.
that's
I'm
why
like,
he has a
you're
Vikings
stupid.
podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you wear Vikings polos to hockey games.
Yep.
So.
Also,
an
dude,
idiot.
Billy G could lead this team to 0-82, and we would be pretty
also-
biased.
Well, no, yes. for
Also,
sure,
though,
but
Eli's the kind of guy to be texting you all that shit, and if he met him, he would be like, "Oh, you do such a great job for the team,"
Yeah,
and he would suck his dick.
like he was saying about how he was allegedly flipping off all the Wild players
There's
walking
no
to Cowboy
chance.
Jacks
He
on
probably
Saturday.
he
Nope.
probably tried to get their numbers, and they
Yep, they pissed him off. Oh, I flipped them off because they sucked. I'm like, if you were talking to their face, you would be first off being weird and getting really close to them and saying that they're amazing and they're gods.
Yep.
He's one of those kind of people.
Don't come after Billy G. We'll come after you. But
All right, I just sent it. Let's see if we get a response. This is live.
Eli's gonna derail the whole show just to call you out for saying.
I gotta talk. I gotta call someone out here.
Why is AJ talking so fast?
That's what he does.
The
he
internet
loves-
in here is kind of dog shit. There's a chance it's like.
But that's AJ. He loves
Come
talking.
on, Eli. We'll give it like another minute.
So you commented?
The people are getting a sneak peek of what State of Skull is like.
This is behind the curtain view of 10K.
This is state of school.
This is how we evaluate our podcast. We just
Yep.
make sarcastic comments about all of them.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I think
No.
most Vikings fans would find that valuable. I don't know.
Let's go through each game week one.
And by the way, I
don't
know
even know the schedule.
I know these fuckers
Oh, no, I can
claim
already-
they don't listen to our show, but by the way, the paintball gauntlet's still on. So if you guys are listening, you're not out of that.
No.
We were waiting for it to get nice, which it took until now.
I already know by tomorrow we have a particular friend we know, Bubba, that I know listens to this show. I'm going to be involved in a group chat tomorrow. I can already see it. They were talking shit about your show, Eli, and it's going to
Yep,
spark a whole
good.
other
Bring it
stuff.
on.
Sure.
Go
Let's
to war.
Go.
You come after Billy G, we come after
Yep,
you. That's
yep.
the way life works.
Hey, Bubba, if you actually made it this far on the podcast, just send me a quick text that says hi, Zane.
Yeah, and yep.
I want
do
to see.
that.
I want to see if you actually did.
and confirm with us.
Yes.
I think he listens to him. I think
We'll
maybe
see.
Bubba Action.
Yeah. Well, this was a jam-packed, fun episode as always, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to check us out on all socials at 10K Takes, and make sure to check out the State of Skull podcast as well as Wild Takes. We have all sorts of other shows, the Has-Beens.
Third and Forever
Third and
also did a
Forever.
great draft recap about the whole league. Something about that show I wanted to mention really quick. It's one of the hosts is a Vikings fan, the other one's a Packers fan. So the dynamic in that show is really fun. I honestly want to say top 3 podcasts under the brand. So
Yep.
And State of Skull might not fall under that. But no, if you do seriously though, no, seriously, they do good stuff. But but seriously, go look up State of Skull on socials and stuff. But find out, like, look at Eli, the guy, like the main dude who runs it. And if you do see him in public,
Call him 6 Iron from State of Skull.
that, or just run up to him. Oh my God, are you Eli from State of Skull? Because it drives him fucking crazy. I probably sent like 5 or 6 people over to say that to him at Truck Park Friday night, and he left.
Or if you really,
Oh my God.
He left. He's like, you made me leave last night. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
that's an ultimate
You
troll.
paparazzi bombed him.
you
But
could do.
he always bitches that we big time him and always get all the recognition in public. I'm like, well, here you are.
See, I always do Eli from 10K MMA.
Yeah, that's a
That'll
good
really
bit
piss
too.
him
That's
the
only the real ones will know that.
yeah, it's do that either way. It's hilarious.
Anyways, go support 6 Iron in the State of Skull show. I know they don't have a lot to talk about over the summer, but you're gonna want to tune into their
going
stuff
over
in
the
the fall
schedule.
because
That's not even out yet.
hey, we're gonna be going to one of those games though. We're doing an away game per year. So this is an open invite. But anyways, folks, make sure to check out our blog as well, 10ktakesmn.com. And check out the shop. As journalist Jake mentioned in the beginning, I think it was you that did that ad read, right, for the shop?
Yes.
Shop's brand new. We got we've cleaned up the entire supply line. Basically, we're able to put out a lot more merch now. You're able to get it a lot faster. And there's some really kick-ass Twins collection designs and 10K designs on there, so make sure to check it out. But folks, thanks so much as always for supporting our brand, listening to the show. We'll see you next week.